Welcome to J-Cat Adventures. Dive into thrilling escapades, luxurious settings, and captivating tales through ebooks and print editions. Crafted for suspense, adventure, and timeless drama, these stories will awaken your spirit for excitement. Join a global fan community, subscribe now, and click the link to donate to support more stories you love. Note: this series contains mature themes, including romantic and erotic content, and may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
All right. Buckle up. Here's a high-stakes, action-packed spy thriller, featuring J-Cat as he takes on a global conspiracy involving bioweapons, cyber espionage, and a ruthless shadow organization. J-Cat, the biowarfare blueprint. The world was on the brink of disaster. A top-secret bioweapon, capable of selectively targeting DNA markers, had been stolen from a classified government lab. If it fell into the wrong hands, it wouldn't just be war, it would be genocide. The culprit? An elusive underground syndicate known as Phantom, a global organization that thrived in the shadows, manipulating world events for profit and power. The only thing standing between them and mass devastation? J-Cat. Mission: retrieve the blueprint. Eliminate the threat. Save millions. J-Cat, the world's most deadly and debonair spy, was pulled from a lavish gala in Monte Carlo when MI6 intercepted intel on where the weaponized virus was being developed. A rogue scientist, Dr. Adrian Volkov, had perfected the blueprint for a DNA-specific bioweapon, one that could wipe out entire populations based on genetic markers. The virus was now in production deep inside a secret Arctic black site facility. With only 72 hours before deployment, J-Cat assembled his elite team. Zara Khan, ex-MI6, expert in close-quarters combat and infiltration. Eli Vance, tech prodigy, hacker, and satellite surveillance genius. Milo Drake, former field medic turned underground chemist. The plan? Break into the Arctic fortress, destroy the virus, and retrieve the only existing blueprint before Phantom could sell it to the highest bidder. J-Cat and his team parachuted into the Arctic wasteland under the cover of a blizzard. With heat signatures masked and comms encrypted, they navigated through the blinding snow toward the fortified lab bunker buried beneath the ice. Security was tight: automated turrets, motion-sensing drones, and heavily armed guards. But J-Cat, ever the strategist, had a plan. Eli hacked the facility's external security grid, giving Zara and Milo a 6-minute window to disable the guards at the south entrance. J-Cat slipped inside through a maintenance shaft, making his way to the lab undetected. Inside, he found Dr. Volkov overseeing the final weaponization process, a vial of the virus glowing a sinister shade of blue in the sterile lab light. The moment J-Cat stepped forward, Volkov smirked. "You're too late, Agent Cat. The virus has already been uploaded to Phantom's network." The chase begins. J-Cat didn't hesitate. He launched forward, disarming a nearby guard and slamming him against the glass containment unit. Alarms blared as the scientist triggered the lab's self-destruct sequence. Volkov bolted, but J-Cat was faster. He pursued the rogue scientist through the corridors as explosions rocked the facility. Zara fought off guards in the control room. Milo was rigging explosives to take down the entire underground lab. Eli hacked into Phantom servers, racing against time to delete the blueprint before it was sold. J-Cat cornered Volkov at the extraction hangar. The scientist lunged for a stealth drone carrying the only physical copy of the virus. One perfectly timed shot. J-Cat's bullet shattered the vial midair, neutralizing the virus forever. Volkov collapsed to his knees. "You don't understand," he gasped. "Phantom has more emotion. You've only delayed the inevitable." J-Cat smirked, reloading his pistol. "Then I'll keep delaying it. One bullet at a time." With the facility seconds from total annihilation, the team escaped on a stolen helicopter, the Arctic base erupting into a firestorm behind them. Back in London, J-Cat met with his handler at MI6. The virus was destroyed. The blueprint was erased. But Phantom? Still out there. As he sipped a top-shelf whiskey in his penthouse, watching the city lights flicker below, J-Cat knew one thing. This wasn't the end. Phantom had just made an enemy for life. And J-Cat? Let's pause for the cause.
J-Cat, the spy, the legend, the playboy. He's smooth, he's slick, he's got the perfect trick, shaken martini, targets hit cleanly, villains gone quick. Gadgets. Check. Supercars. Check. A trail of broken hearts? Double check. When danger calls, when the world's in fear. J-Cat's already here. Explosions. He walks away. Lasers. He dodges, unfazed. Romance. He leaves him amazed. Fast cars, fast fists, a mind too sharp to miss. Villains beware, J-Cat never quits. Action. Espionage. Pure style. The world's deadliest spy is also the world's smoothest guy. J-Cat, mission, unstoppable. Coming soon. To save the world in style. Get ready. Stay sharp. And always. Stay cool. J-Cat, always one step ahead.
I got tunnel vision. You can remove wax, but why would you do that if folks don't wanna listen? I could accrue ash and cloth from 2 seconds.
Alright, we are back. The Arctic base was obliterated, the virus destroyed, and Dr. Volkov neutralized, but something wasn't right. J-Cat reclined in his penthouse, sipping on a perfectly aged whiskey, staring out over the London skyline. The city shimmered under the night sky, yet a nagging instinct wouldn't let him relax. Phantom never puts all their eggs in one basket. Just as he exhaled, his encrypted phone buzzed. Eli's voice came through. Panicked. Cat. We have a problem. J-Cat straightened. Talk to me. I decrypted a hidden subfile in Phantom servers. Volkov's virus? It was just a test run. J-Cat's grip on the glass tightened. Where's the real target? Eli hesitated. London. It's already in motion. The race against time. Phantom wasn't trying to sell the virus, they were already deploying it. Their true target? The Thames Purification Plant, London's central water processing hub. If the virus was released into the system, it would spread within hours, affecting millions. J-Cat grabbed his gear, activated stealth mode on his Jaguar XJ, heavily modified, of course, and burned through the streets of London. The team regrouped near the plant. Zara loaded a fresh magazine into her SMG. We stopping a pandemic tonight or what? J-Cat smirked. Let's crash their party. The infiltration, tech versus terror. The plant was heavily guarded. Phantom had turned it into a fortress. Drones patrolled the air. Laser turrets locked onto anything that moved. Eli, back at base, hacked the surveillance feeds, giving you a 5-second blind spot. Now. J-Cat and Zara vaulted the outer fence just as the cameras looped. They moved silently through the shadows, their sleek suits blending into the darkness. Inside, Milo had already disabled the secondary pipelines, but the main virus container was in the central filtration chamber. J-Cat's earpiece crackled. You've got incoming. A lot of them. Just as J-Cat reached the control panel, gunfire erupted. Phantom's elite enforcers stormed the plant, clad in high-tech exosuits, equipped with plasma rifles. Zara took cover behind a crate, returning fire with deadly precision. Milo, despite being a medic, hurled a makeshift flash grenade, blinding 2 guards. J-Cat? He did what he did best, took them head-on. He vaulted over a railing, landing between 2 enforcers. One lunged, J-Cat sidestepped, disarmed him mid-motion, and sent him flying into an electrical panel. Sparks flew as the enemy collapsed, unconscious. Another guard raised his plasma rifle. J-Cat flicked his wrist, deploying a high-frequency EMP from his watch. The weapon short-circuited instantly. J-Cat grabbed the stunned attacker, spun him around, and used him as a human shield before dropping him with a swift strike to the neck. The twist, Phantom's real plan. Zara shouted through the chaos. Cat, we've got a problem. J-Cat turned toward the filtration chamber. The virus container was already leaking. Eli's voice screamed through the comms. They tricked us. The real payload isn't here, it's in the Royal Airway Flight 909, a commercial airliner taking off in 10 minutes. J-Cat's mind raced. If that plane took off, the virus would spread internationally. They had one shot. J-Cat grabbed the container, smashing it into the control panel. The chemical reaction neutralized the exposed virus, but they still had to stop the plane. The aerial showdown. J-Cat and Zara hijacked a stolen Phantom attack drone, launching themselves toward Heathrow Airport at breakneck speeds. Eli hacked into the airport's ATC tower, trying to delay Flight 909's takeoff, but Phantom's operatives had jammed communications. The plane was accelerating down the runway. J-Cat had no choice. With only seconds left, he leapt from the drone, deploying his wingsuit midair. Wind screamed past him. The massive plane loomed ahead. He aimed for the cargo hatch. At the last possible second, he landed. Inside the aircraft, the virus was secured in a titanium briefcase, handcuffed to Phantom's final enforcer, Sebastian Graves, the organization's ruthless field commander. The two locked eyes. "You should have stayed out of this, Cat," Graves sneered. J-Cat cracked his neck. "Not my style." The cabin shook as they fought, J-Cat dodging Graves' brutal strikes, countering with lightning-fast reflexes. Graves drew a knife. J-Cat disarmed him with a wrist lock, twisting his arm until the bone snapped. The plane lurched as Zara, now piloting their stolen drone, fired at the engine. J-Cat grabbed the briefcase. Graves lunged, only to be kicked backward into the cargo bay doors. J-Cat hit the emergency release. The doors ripped open. Graves' expression twisted in rage. "You wouldn't." J-Cat kicked him straight out of the plane. "Fly safe." Graves vanished into the clouds. The landing and the end of Phantom. For now. J-Cat parachuted from the plane, landing smoothly as Flight 909 was forced into an emergency landing. The virus was secured. Phantom's plans? Shattered. As dawn broke over London, J-Cat, Zara, and the team stood on the Tower Bridge, watching the city wake up. Eli sighed in relief. That was insane. Zara nudged J-Cat. "So what now? Vacation?" J-Cat chuckled, adjusting his cufflinks. "Phantom's still out there. And something tells me they're not done." "Well, all right. We will be back."
Want to dive deeper? Grab an ebook on Etsy or a paperback on Amazon. You can also reach Jay Bahari by clicking on chat line for instant video call, instant audio call, and instant text chat, or by appointment. If you're hooked on J-Cat Adventures, show your support today.
We're back. Let's get it in. London was saved. The virus was neutralized. Phantom was crippled. But J-Cat knew better than to celebrate too soon. Something about this mission didn't add up. The virus wasn't just a weapon, it was a message. And the real masterminds? They were still out there. The aftermath, a clue left behind. Back at MI6 Black Site Theta, the briefcase containing the virus was being dissected by top scientists. J-Cat watched from the observation deck, sipping an espresso. Zara leaned against the glass, arms crossed. "You look like a cat who smelled something nasty." J-Cat narrowed his eyes. "Because I did." Eli's voice crackled through their comms. "Guys, I just decoded something weird from Phantom servers." J-Cat turned. "Talk to me." Eli hesitated. "There's a hidden frequency buried inside the virus carrier. It's transmitting a coded signal." J-Cat set his espresso down. "To where?" Eli gulped. "To every intelligence agency on the planet." The room fell silent. J-Cat's mind raced. Why would Phantom send a signal to the world's most classified organizations? Then it hit him. It wasn't just a signal. It was an activation code. Within hours, chaos erupted worldwide. The CIA and Langley went into lockdown. A Chinese satellite was hijacked, sending encrypted warnings into deep space. The Moscow grid suffered a massive blackout. A Swiss vault, housing covert files on every major government, was breached. The world's deepest secrets were suddenly at risk. Eli's voice was dead serious. "This isn't just about Phantom. Someone else is pulling the strings." J-Cat's jaw tightened. "Who?" Eli took a breath. "They call it Shadow Protocol." J-Cat had heard whispers of it before, a ghost story in the intelligence world. An invisible network of rogue spies, deep cover operatives, and ex-intelligence chiefs who had disappeared from the records. But never stopped operating. And at the top of it all? Alexander Vex. A former MI6 director, presumed dead for over a decade. But according to Eli's decrypted files, he was very much alive. Zara exhaled sharply. "If Vex is behind this, we're screwed. He trained half the people hunting us." J-Cat's expression darkened. "Then it's time we return the favor." The heist, breaking into the UN's secret archive. If they were going to stop Shadow Protocol, they needed intel. The only place with files on the network? The UN's Black Archive, a vault beneath Geneva, where the world's deadliest secrets were kept. Breaking into it was considered impossible. So naturally, J-Cat and his team planned to do exactly that. The plan, pure insanity. Step 1, Eli hacked the Swiss traffic grid, rerouting the city's power supply to cause a perfectly timed blackout. Step 2, Zara posed as a Russian diplomat, gaining access to the upper levels of the UN. Step 3, J-Cat. He did what he did best, dropped from a stolen stealth drone straight onto the archive's roof. Hacking a $20 billion security system? Too slow. Blowing open the reinforced steel vault? Too loud. So J-Cat did it the old-fashioned way. He scaled the building upside down, using magnetic gloves, and bypassed the sensors with a modified laser pen. When he finally infiltrated the vault, Eli's voice crackled in his ear. "You're inside. Now find the Shadow Protocol dossier and, wait." J-Cat froze. "What?" Eli's voice was sharp. "Someone else is already in there." The face of a ghost. J-Cat's instincts kicked in. He moved silently through the shadows, reaching the heart of the vault. The classified files were already being downloaded. And the man holding the drive? Alexander Vex. The ghost himself. He turned, smiling. "Ah, J-Cat. I was wondering when you'd show up." J-Cat didn't hesitate. He lunged, but Vex was faster. With one move, Vex disarmed him, twisting his wrist into a brutal hold. J-Cat countered, spinning free, but Vex was already gone, disappearing into a hidden tunnel. The alarm blared. J-Cat grabbed the half-downloaded file and bolted, escaping just as the UN's elite guards swarmed the vault. Back at base, Eli decrypted the stolen data. His face went pale. "Cat, you need to see this." J-Cat leaned in. What he saw made his blood run cold. Shadow Protocol wasn't just a rogue spy network. It was a doomsday contingency plan, a failsafe built decades ago by every major intelligence agency in case governments ever collapsed. The worst part? It had already begun. A fake cyber attack was being staged to shut down global markets. AI-controlled assassins were being activated to eliminate key world leaders. And the final stage? A cataclysmic event, something called Project Blackout. Zara's voice was barely a whisper. "What the hell is Project Blackout?" Eli looked up. "It's a plan to plunge the world into chaos. And let Shadow Protocol rebuild it from the ashes." J-Cat stared at the screen. His fists clenched. "They're not just trying to destroy the world," he muttered. "They're trying to rewrite it." "The final mission begins." J-Cat turned to his team. "If we're going to stop this, we go to the source." Eli nodded. "That means finding Vex before he disappears again." Zara smirked. "And you know exactly where he's going, don't you?" J-Cat's eyes glinted. "Oh, I have a pretty good idea." To be continued.
Disclaimer. The Adventures of J-Cat Adventures is a work of fiction. The characters, events, and settings depicted in this series are the products of the author's imagination and are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. This series contains mature themes, including but not limited to romantic and erotic content, that may not be suitable for all audiences. Reader discretion is advised. The depictions of relationships, encounters, and situations are intended for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect real-life practices or endorse any specific behaviors. The portrayal of characters, including their actions and interactions, is intended to be a dramatic and fictional narrative. The series is not intended to promote or condone any form of violence, exploitation, or abuse. The character of J-Cat Adventures, while depicted as a hero in fictional scenarios, is a creation meant to entertain and should not be considered a role model for real-life behavior. Readers are reminded that this is a work of fiction and should enjoy it as such. Any interpretations or applications of the content within real-world contexts are the responsibility of the reader. The author and publishers disclaim any liability for actions taken by readers based on fictional portrayals and scenarios in the series. The Adventures of J-Cat's creator Jay Bahari has harnessed the power of artificial intelligence to enhance the storytelling process. With the help of AI input, Bahari has been able to explore new dimensions of creativity, pushing the boundaries of conventional storytelling to deliver an experience that is both innovative and compelling. Together, Jay Bahari and AI have crafted a series that not only entertains but also captivates the imagination, inviting readers into a world where seduction and suspense intertwine in the most alluring ways. This collaboration stands as a testament to the endless possibilities that arise when human creativity meets cutting-edge technology, forging a path to stories that are as mesmerizing as they are unforgettable.